So let's go ahead and get started with some Phoenix Wright. We managed to get through the first day, I think it's in its entirety, for the final case. We have a little bit of a mystery afoot. We discredited one of the most biased witnesses we've had so far. And now we're looking to do additional investigation. And after that, that will be the end of the first game. So might as well as see where we can get with it. Give the game a moment to load. Make sure my notes on achievements are here. Are they? Here they are. Yes, I think we're in the later part of day 2. Let's jump into the game. Yeah, let's give it our best shot to try to clean things up today. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright and Company Law Offices.
Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Hello, can't hear me? I'm definitely lighting up on the mic. I recommend you check your volume.
I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. Everyone in the world is a little confused, something like that. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's not on my end. I definitely unmuted. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot, in the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part?
The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. ... Well, that's where we're gonna find out. Or try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
Welcome back, Imperameter. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's gonna be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us.
February 23rd, prosecutor's office. Underground parking lot.
You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder.
Okay. That's kind of a bold statement to come out of the gate.
There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it's only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Yeah, Phoenix.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum, was it empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Yeah.
My sister erasing evidence at the scene of the crime? Never.
Yeah, no biggie.
Even though she says they don't really get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid.
I mean, that is a real thing. Luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. Can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
What does that have to do with using the luminol? Yeah, even Phoenix has the same kind of comment. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things.
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it.
I like that the Wright universe is so messed up that basically both the prosecutors and the defense attorneys both have to play detective because the police department is so bad in most of the cases. I love that that's just a fact. A sad but true fact.
Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains.
Okay, imagine near the body. Oh. This is how she sees the world, oh god. Yeah, she prefers her life in Virtual Boy vision. Predator vision, that works too.
I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses.
So, this is... Oh, so, is this a blood stain?
It's so,
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood.
Is it? You're seeing it light up. It's not... Whatever. Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But does something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this, scientifically? Well, let's think about it. Well, I would guess based off the position, it wouldn't be unusual. I guess because it's more of a dribble, maybe that's what we're looking to draw attention to here, so I'm gonna go with the amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange.
Is it though?
I mean, I know they're trying to set up a mystery, but I'm like, I don't know. Even when I first played this, I'm like, is it just really as simple as I think it is? Are they making this to be like some crazy thing where he's in two places? And I'm like, not really? But whatever, it's fun. We'll get into that later, I guess, if we get into it. They fought here. There'd have to be been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plan we find with a blood stain.
Oh, when we find a blood stain, okay?
See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah.
This stuff's pretty handy too.
I like that this character, even though she's in high school, is automatically like 1,000 times more confident than Maya.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking Emma Sky. Solution used for scientific investigation finds blood traces. Spray to use. Can't be sure the police will reveal all their evidence in court, which should be very illegal, by the way. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Let's drag out that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah. Feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Yes, I should give this a spray on anything suspicious.
I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house.
Sorry, it's just... that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth wandering. Well, I guess we'll talk to her about today's trial.
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Miss Star, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah! I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. Well, given that she lied on the stand, falsified her claims as a detective, does she even still have honor at this point? Can we arrest her for health violations? Yeah, definitely. We'll try to spray Angel later. You know we gotta present the badge to her again. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, may seem like a demon sometimes, but I could be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. Okay, that's actually funny. Emma with the quick sick burn on her. And you were let go. Oh, fired? Yeah. Just referencing when she was let go due to prim and proper prosecutors from the earlier trial. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. Maybe they just coughed up their lunch because you were spoiled food. Exactly. SL9. Wait, she doesn't mean... Here you go. Oh, can we... Oh, that's not what I want. Oops, I keep forgetting wrong button. This is what I need to use to present. That looks like a petrified piece of provolone. It's not. It's my attorney's badge. I think a petrified piece of provolone would fetch more on the open market. Look, my badge isn't up for sale. Not yet, at least. Not yet, at least? Wait, wow, Phoenix. Well, I guess we gotta present... probably the note. Well, what do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Well, they kept mentioning the crime photo. Do I just have to bring up the photo again? You think about it, you could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So, you went straight to the scene of the crime. Guilty of stealing evidence, as per usual. Welcome, Calvisha. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words... Oh, in other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time. SL9 incident. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, It was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary. It was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. Wow. That's kind of messed up. Well, chat, fortunately we're not in the Phoenix Wright universe. Who needs proper evidence? Kill him! What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence. Of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. Others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself, and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail. Officer Jake Marshall. Well, let's ask about Detective Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten. And neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9. There was another side to that case. A hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I came here to sell lunches in this accursed office. I came here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. At least one of them was then executed. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. Is that a Salisbury steak? A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you, if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch, received from Miss Star. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Well, so much for making us guess. They're just straight up tell us in the description. We received a lunch from Miss Star. Miss Star? Officer Marshall, is he, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he's helping my sister do cases. He was so nice. He got along so well with my sister. It made me jealous. And then, he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. I'm just making sure we got the ladder achievement out of the way, because I saw that it was briefly highlighted as unread.
So same dialogue we had from last time, nothing new worth repeating. They keep arguing whether it's a ladder or a step ladder. That's basically the ongoing gag. So I guess we just move. We go to the detention center? Do that later. Maybe we go to the police department first? February 23rd. Police department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. I had that problem with Dawn of Sorrow today. The game had a cutscene telling me to equip Mina's charm. Game, it is the same thing in Aria, I remember. So I take it you beat the game, Calvisham. Not my favorite Castlevania, by far. Probably bottom 3. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room. The scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. I'll examine it just for chat. The Blue Badger is still writhing around today. There you go, chat. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Take away the glyphs and it is okay game. Oh no. I felt the abilities in that game were so bad compared to Aria. It was such a big step down. What a waste of potential. 100% would rather play Circle or any of the other games again. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Alright, let's move further. Ooh, guard station. February 23rd. Evidence room entrance, guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. Calvisham says he's never playing it again. Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, at least with the other Castlevanias, I could say, like, there's a reason I might play them again. I had zero reason to play it again. Especially grinding to unlock the souls and that felt awful. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So, beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti, they're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. What? You can't handle the cacti. Stay out of the desert, says Phoenix. Or thinks the Phoenix, more accurately. Yeah. I mean, it looks like there's all sorts of things that would be illegal. Like, I'm pretty sure they can't do anything you see here. I like the trip hazard lasso in front of the evidence room, by the way. Like, what's that BS? What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where is the guard? Gee, chat, I wonder, given the decor, who the guard could be. I have a feeling I know who he is already. Texas. Look, on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond the door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. Bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of here. We're not going to talk about all the bottles of booze up there? Okay.
Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. Or think that just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell, with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. Phoenix ... I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. Looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, and a leather... Oh, what was that called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? Oh, I know. A poochie. Sure, chat, it's a poochie. Wait. Maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho. I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. I was gonna say, it's definitely Poochie, chat. It's a giant cartoon dog, don't worry about it. I guess there's nothing to do here, so let's just leave. February 23rd, Police Department, entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? Oh. Not who I thought. I thought it was Meekins. I thought he was being chewed out, that's why I started doing a Meekins voice. One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh, we defeated him, chat. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... Heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? Yeah, they're talking about the other detective killed there, allegedly. Gant mentioned that he was arrested, indeed. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. The Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch, pronto. Staying around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. You want to know more? Head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Criminal... Go back here. There we go. February 23rd, detention center, visitor's room. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Ween. Oh no, does he have a megaphone in there for no reason? What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, hi. Greetings, sir. Well, he's not doing too well, chat. Wait, I know who you are. Yeah, this is just flashbacking when he went into... I'm not going to repeat the flashback. Just be aware he was the person that was trying to deliver the report to Edgeworth. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like the little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. Here to deliver a report? No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't... Is he? Why is he even a police officer? That's a good question. You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Oh, Ween. That is quite a face he has, chat. Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Well, we're gonna talk to him. Are they really gonna blare that sound effect every time? That is so annoying. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room. This is the worst character in the case for sure. Feels like it. That's right, sir. This evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. There you go. Ow! What the heck is this guy doing? He slammed his broken, sprained, something injured hand. Then he made a big ouch face. So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there's no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Chat loving the faces, apparently. And another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Let's ask about the victim. Even though he said first things first, we're not doing that. We're doing it in order. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention. And alive, and well at that. Well, I don't know if he's mentally well. Yes, well that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or total stranger, I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him. First things first does not always mean first, yeah. I love Calvisham saying the one in the back thinking, I can't believe I have the same job as this guy. I like to think the guy he's learned the art of tuning everything out. He sees nothing, he hears nothing. He just exists there every single day, never moving, never blinking, never eating. All joy in life gone, chat. Having to put up with Phoenix Wright criminals. Sir, I work in a tiny... Excuse me. 1 second. Sir, I work in a tiny department, devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any other detectives. Or, excuse me, any detectives, because that comes up later, just any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Let's go to first things first, last, the bandage hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there's nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, well, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. Next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? And when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. If someone kills this guy because of the megaphone, I would understand, says Calvisham. Yeah, for sure. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? Victim's body. Disappeared? That's some story.
Let's present our attorney badge. Officer Meekins, have a look at this. Go ahead, sir, laugh. Laugh at me, sir. Huh? I know what you want me to say. You're gonna tell me how she is one just like it. Me? Why would I? I know, sir, I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere. I'm alone, all alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir. Is he talking about those badges on her coat? I like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Try presenting the ID. Do you think you could take a look at this? I was trying to think of something that had a photo of the victim, so I figure I might as well start with this one. It looks like it's working. Hey, that's it, sir. That's it. That's it. That's what? My head was blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct, that card. The card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir. That's it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. Better pry into this one a little deeper. Prime details has been unlocked. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might seem a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. Ugh, this character is not endearing. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room. Asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I'm as flushed as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. I hope we break that megaphone. I hope that does not play in the court sound effect. I'm not gonna lie, that's really annoying. What happened then? Well, on my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. I'm a little confused about the timeline from before. Wasn't he out of jail to deliver the report? Am I missing something? Right, chat? Why did they let him deliver the report then? I'm confused. Wasn't Goodman dead initially during the beginning? I actually feel like I'm confused about the case due to this. Right, because we went to Edgeworth's office after the murder. But then he was allowed to just leave? Is that what the game is just saying is happening? Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what happened last time. Right. Let's go to the reason for arrest. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no idea of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here. They told me it had to be him, sir. On that day at that time.
Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on the tape. I would ... to this too. Just kick him real hard, chat. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. Hand over my badge, I don't deserve it. Good, let's get him fired. No thanks, I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Alright, well, it sounds like we have enough to go back to the place we just came from. Go back to criminal affairs. Oh, wait. Oops. Actually, I didn't want to go back to criminal affairs, but since we're here... I forgot. Criminal affairs... Whatever. I was thinking police department. I saw criminal affairs. I said criminal affairs. I meant the police department. But since we're here, we might as well just talk to people. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the chief of detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, hmm? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you'll call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. Oh, we'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Love how ominous his music is. Let's talk to Edgeworth. Talk about Edgeworth with him. Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It just doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you've got someone else found guilty in that case, right, righto? On Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Well, wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge the evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? Evidence room incident. It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too, I mean. They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive. And I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives' traps shut. Ah, here's the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. Wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Okay, we can't move to him. I'm assuming we just talk to him directly. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, you see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. Took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. But nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? No one has 2 hands to stab someone in 2 places at the same time.
The mystery deepens, chat.
Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it.
Roll your eyes on that one, chat. Okay.
It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Here, make a note of it, just in case.
Goodman's lost item report added to court record.
Half-written document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene.
Ooh, permission to enter.
Yeah, it's only maybe directly linked to the reason why it died. It's fine. It's not important. Actually, I was wondering if you could ask you a favor. Oh, I thought we were gonna ask the detective for the favor to get in. Whatever. I thought that's what the point of the stake was. Well, I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room.
Well, look at his stare, chat. Look at the music. Listen to the music stop as he stares at you.
Now, Wright-o. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Wright-o, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, could I borrow 50? I'd give them 50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show, you never know until you ask. Are you here? Could borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir. It's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think. A real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go to the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl.
Okay, let's go back to the police department entrance.
Evidence room's beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gann. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader's turned off, see? What is the security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well. What's made my bambina sky so gray? Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him?
I mean, it's kind of obvious given the decor, but whatever.
What's that? Why does it have to be him? Look for. As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Beep. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres.
So presumably we just give him the steak.
That smell, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on the television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yes, Miss Starr. What's this? What's wrong? A filet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything snack. Finally, seems like he's willing to talk. So we'll go to the guard station. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. An easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Oh, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it may not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Oh, there's something we forgot to do. Gotta present our badge to him. The sheriff's back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. Now the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither Wild nor West here. Aha! But that and this are two different things entirely. I guess so. Huh? I'm lost. Guess we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. He says while we have newer topics to talk about. Whatever. Miss Starr told us something. She said you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole and a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us exactly what happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyhow, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are this here security cameras. Or these here, excuse me. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Okay, so I think he would have told us to go get the card that we needed earlier. So I guess we technically sped that up by not needing to go back. That's the card reader by the door. Card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. That seems important to the case. So, this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, saw a number of that record just now. I've seen that number before. Probably referring to the 584 number. Not sure if any of the other ones were super relevant offhand. There's some way I could prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Alright, well, let's finish the topic and then we'll, I guess, show the ID, because I'm assuming it matched one of them. Sorry, could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? What happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal's like a funeral for old cases. 2 years ago, or 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened at SL9 2 days ago. Okay, well, we're gonna present the badge, because it's got an ID number on it. Oh, right. I can't just present that way. I have to physically go to present, and then I can present with the present button. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Oh, that one there was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match. I see 2 numbers just before and after the murder. Well, speaking of which, did we ever get an ID? Did we ever get our own ID card? No? Huh, I was curious what the number was on it. Anyway, look, the fourth number, it's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekin say? Yeah, and he didn't present his ID card. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekin's? All right, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. ID card record added to court record. IDs of all who entered the evidence room on 221. Got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Alright, we can officially go in the evidence room. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Oh! Whoa! Did she slap him? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard? Yeah, we were told to investigate. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me?
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the takeaway from the anybody can investigate.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today.
Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Seen the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Evidence room floor plans added to the court record. Let's examine before we go further. Something's sticking out of here. It's like a shirt. Guess it must be evidence for some case. Wonder if Detective Gunshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm responsible for the evidence here. That said, I thought that evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
You leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gunshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
And he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Place is stuck with evidence, stuck with dreams.
Not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Oh, that's my personal pole. Never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that led to the solving of the case out on Gourd Lake, remember?
Oh, right, wow.
It feels like it was ages ago.
And, I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
A cheap-looking box?
Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. Gotta look at their heart.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. That's the door we just came in through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. Right, chat? Wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we're inside. Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Slide. What is this saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed there's blue and yellow paint here.
Oh, it's for the mascot. I had to think about it for a moment. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pieced together.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger?
Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here, in the evidence room.
I'm looking for new dialogue. Something open in the back.
Look, this one's open. And the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint.
Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
The holy birthplace of our Messiah. Oh no.
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it.
It's empty. Must have taken the contents elsewhere.
Well, what's this? Blood. It's a little worn. There's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? She'd use her testing fluid to check it out. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Praise be the Badger, oh no. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from The Case. The Case? SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Let's take a closer look, I guess? I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. Oh, no. I vaguely recall this. I'm not good at these. We're gonna hope I remember how to do this quickly. You want to try to put it back together? Ah, good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. I mean, I'm not good at it, but I'm not like 3 hours bad at it either. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this looks like the bottom. Try putting the rest in place. Well, I guess we gotta start somewhere. See, I think the mistake I made last time is I tried starting with the end pieces. Why don't I just start in the middle? See if this makes me go anywhere better. Do I just combine? Okay. So I could rotate it. Actually, I think this one fits. Oh, or not. Oh, maybe I just have it rotated the wrong way. My bad. It's very finicky with the direction. 3D! I think that's it. I mean, this is so far convenient. Yeah, before I didn't start in the middle. I remember that much, that I started on like the left and it took me forever to do it. Now, where do we go from here? I mean, I imagine this will be the last piece. So we'll rule this out. This looks like it'll be last. We haven't seen where this attaches yet. Although... does anything look like it'll fit here? Oh. Okay, well, at least rotating them, I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah. So we rotated it there. Can we get the other side of this somehow? Okay. Making progress. Do I have to which one rotates to the correct position? Maybe this one? Oh, that's what I thought it was gonna do there. Oops, I wanted to rotate. Oh, maybe it wants it like this. So just try until you get so frustrated you make more pieces than you started with. Maybe. I feel like we're almost done at least. Listen, I'm just gonna rotate and not really care. I was gonna say, it has to be one of these. So it's still missing a piece. But I'm out of things to assemble. Huh? Well, I think we did it. Some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. It's really not difficult. It's not too bad. Were some of the pieces stolen? But they were missing to begin with. still. It doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I don't understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court record. Jar pieced together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Can we just present the spray to do the spray stuff now? Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. That's fine. You bet it is, pal. Oh, maybe I have to check it? Oh yeah, we never actually investigated the spray. Hope it has Emma Sky in English on the bottom. I'm gonna use a marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, never know when something might go down. So what kind of world do you think we live in? Let's see, can we get him to talk about the ID card, maybe? That's the victim. Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's cards and secret numbers. Can never relax. Because I think they said they wanted us to ask people that were inside the building about the numbers. Yeah, I might need to examine the handprint again, but since I'm here. That's only because you always lose your card. Always forget my secret number, too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? After Gumshoe, rebel against the system. I don't know if that actually moved us forward at all. Wrong button. Oh, maybe I have to do it while I'm in this menu. Oh, I gotta use it while I'm in this menu. I had the right idea. I just went to the wrong thing I presented instead of spraying. It's a similar menu, to be fair. I knew it. This is someone's right hand. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours. Please. You have to help me. They come to take me away. Promise me you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. Got it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. It must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. We're just gonna gloss over how stupid that was. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you should have asked. We're gonna do machine gun blow. Oh, there's no blood on his stuff. Alright, so it's safe to say I don't think there's anything else in the room that has it. I guess we leave for now. This is city police force must be so bad for this could make this guy the detective. They're certainly desperate. I guess we'll try to go to Edgeworth to talk about the investigation into his actually absolutely illicit crimes. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Well, this place is classy as today as it was yesterday. I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. Sure, he's off doing important investigations. Hope that's what he's doing. Huh? Guess we'll have to come back.
Oh, he's not here. Is there a topic I didn't talk about? I feel like we should have been able to go forward. Let me just make sure I didn't present something to the Gumshoe and just didn't follow up on it. Oops. There are so many places you have to navigate to go to the right one. Here we go. Right, nothing missing here. Did I not talk to you afterwards? Oh, that's right, we didn't talk to him. Alright, let's talk to him, then probably Edgeworth will pop up afterwards. So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put this case to rest. My own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? See, this is awkward because we already know about his locker because he told us, but because I did this out of order, he's bringing up the fact that he is the locker again and we're finding this as new information. I like to think maybe we're just trying to audition for the Suikoden protagonist where we ask everything as a question. So that way it still makes sense in context. Of course, pal. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open. Let's ask about Edgeworth. Always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we could get him to tell us more about the case. Evidence lockers. This place is more high-tech than you think. Every locker is fixed that only one detective can open it. Sleep well, Calvisham. Using their ID card. Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. I don't know if I agree with that. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, who is that you have a picture of in your locker? We gonna talk about that at all, or no? Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. It's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor. If the wrong person touches it, biz zap, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Evidence locker added to court record. Only the assigned detective's fingerprints can can unlock it, excuse me. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. Excuse me. Let's try to get him to talk about SL9 by just presenting the note again. Since we already presented the ID earlier. Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. Ben Edgeworth was most surprised of anyone. Future characters, nice reference. This case was made after the trilogy was made. Fair. Nice little tie-in, I guess. Because the SL9 connection.
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from the case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there's some loose ends left on that case. I had a feeling that would unlock one last topic. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So, was a murder? A serial killing? Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake. Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It's the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, you see. So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Now let's go see if Edgeworth is where I think he should be. Nope. What did I forget to do? So there's somebody I haven't talked to, because otherwise we would be done. I feel like she's done. I thought I talked to everybody. Is there still yet another piece of evidence? This is also classic Phoenix Wright. There's usually just like one thing that stops you from going forward. So I missed talking to him. Is it possible that there's something else I didn't find in the room that I need? Because I can't see how we missed anything with any of these other characters. So is there just something random that I didn't notice when we were going through here? Oh, is it the glove? Oh, it's the glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Rubber glove added to the court record. Tagged evidence from the SL9 incident. Extremely thin rubber glove. Is that it? Is there anything else I need to do? You put these pieces together, it makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. Make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Alright, now hopefully we can advance. We'll get there eventually, chat. What am I missing? What am I missing, chat? Is there still something in there that I didn't see? I don't like the investigation portion of this, I'm not gonna lie. Who did I not... Do I need to present something to him, like the note? No, he's not saying anything new. Question mark. Oh, did I? Oh, I just thought of something. Just annoying, chat. I find it annoying. Is there something I didn't spray? Even though I swear I sprayed like nearly everywhere. Is it just something like one little spot on one of these lockers that I need to continue? Like the glove, because I didn't touch the glove. No. Alright, chat. We're doing serpentine. Where is the blood?
I will find it, chat, if there's another thing in here. Like, oh, it's all only on this one? Seriously? Sucks. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch the spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called Luminol testing fluid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very much annoyed at this segment of the game. I take a moment to take a breath. I really don't like. I like it a lot better in the later games. It's starting to come back to me. I did not like the investigation portions of this. It's very easy to miss things, as chat saw. But we should do a little better in the trial, hopefully. It's called Luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where did you get this, Emma? Always buy it by mail order. Well, better jot this down on the floor plans. Yeah, it's much better in the game that I played, where I'm not like doing this stupid stuff over and over across the whole room. Anyway, now let's hope that this is it. If this is not it, I have no idea, and I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I cannot think of anything else I could have possibly missed at this point. We'll move forward. Wrong area. And I feel flustered. I'm gonna take a moment. Think about where I need to go, because there's like a million different ways you could go, but only one of them leads here. Nope, I'm still missing something. What am I missing? I did the jar. I examined the shards. I found the glove. I thought I looked at the open locker. Is it possible they just commented on it and they didn't actually look at the locker? Like, I'm just trying to think, chat. Like, there's only, like, I swear they commented on it, which is why I didn't think anything of it. That's the only other thing I could think of. But I'm very much annoyed that I have to go back in and look at whatever it is because they said it's empty. If I have to go in here and they tell me it's empty, I'm gonna get very cross. Like, they talked about this. And I examined it. So this is out of the way. Oh my gosh, yeah. So like, what else am I possibly missing at this point? I looked at the gloves, I looked at the shards. I've done the indicator on everything in the room. I presented evidence. Do I have to then look at this again or something? No. We looked at everything in this room over here. I'm gonna sweep around. We even commented on these. The bug thing is not a separate conversation. Am I somehow missing a conversation with someone else? I guess that could be it. I can't. Okay, so we did talk about this. I didn't hallucinate that they just mentioned it in general. So let's see. I presented the ID to Gumshoe. That's out of the way. He has 4 conversation topics. It's very rare they get beyond that. We found the gloves. We added it to the record. We looked at the open locker. We found the bloody handprint. We did the puzzle. We sprayed 3 locations. We found the blood pile here, the blood pool here, the handprint here, and another one here. I don't know what we're missing. Is it like... Is it being finicky with me because I didn't present the badge to the marshal? I'm just trying to talk out loud. Like, I can't think of what else it would want me to do. But I thought we did that in order to get the... I thought we did this already to get the list, but I'll do it just in case. Yeah, so we read out the ID, then we say show the record again. Yeah, we saw the 4th number. Was there anything else I needed to do with this? No. We saw this cutscene. Yeah. Because we got the record. I'm gonna go back in the evidence room. I guess I could try to present the glove, I guess. Nope, he's got nothing to say about it. Do I have to examine the glove? Is it gonna be that finicky with me? The tag says SL911. Guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I pretty care for the word tag. It's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Zag? Is that a word? Or shag? I guess more like shag. Do you challenge me? What, are we playing a word game now? Okay. So we looked at the glove. We could look at the jar again, I guess, to see if anything new comes up. But so what I don't so if this locks the plot, I'm gonna be like, seriously? Hey, look, they're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. You think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. The jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. Might be when the blood got on it. You want me to try presenting the evidence locker to him? Oh, he's saying something different about it now. You can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. You can open it. They'll give you 50 cents. No, the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. At the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Yeah, maybe just that one extra presenting. So... yeah, so he's not gonna say anything about the jar. I don't think he'll say... okay, so we can have him look at the records. I don't know if this is relevant for advancing the plot. Could you take a look at this? This ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who... whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? ID record updated in the court record. Okay. Maybe this will advance the plot. Why would Edward have to come to the evidence room? Because now we have a conversation to talk to him with, I guess. Hey, pal, look at the time. Is there something you need to be going to? This time Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. Okay, there we go. Now we advanced it. Going to give them my report for the day. Oh, no. I kind of remember that character. That character is ridiculous. At the restaurant. I believe that is a future game reference. Might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? One that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. Sure we could use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Okay, now we're done. Good. Hopefully that's the last time we get stuck. Let's go to parking lot. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Oh, guess. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window. A teacup in his hand. Right. He is the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really?
Was it helpful? Apparently. A new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me, somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Let's just talk and then we'll present topics. So we'll do Inquiry Committee first. So, how did the Inquiry Committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation of this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I could do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along I've only done what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Except for when he forged... whatever. But still. Wow, never seen him this out of sorts. Okay, let's present... yeah, I guess we could do the ID card. No, ID card record first. Yes, now we have Mile Edgeworth's name there. We have 2 mystery IDs. Let's go present. Or do Goodman's note, it's here. I know you. Probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. We have so many things of evidence. Oh my gosh, chat. Look at this. This feels like a final case when you got like 3 pages. Oh, right. Better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why? Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Why does he look smug when he says that? What? Now I'm curious about this other case. I'm gonna make note of it. Screwdriver. Evidence from past case of Edgeworth's. Brought back to his office by Gant's request. AI-16? Stubborn as always. Told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Okay, let's see what topics we unlocked. Allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. Head of the investigation was the Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coup was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer. It's my first time working with him. was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why a deputy chief of police excuse me. Let's try this again. What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. I let him go. The blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. Then you don't do anything in your power because there are limits? I think by definition that's a contradiction. By the way, Emma, Chief Prosecutor wanted to know something. But my sister, what? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have a use for this. Oh, please not another tool. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting set. Recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with fingerprint file. Fingerprinting set and fingerprint file received. We're kind of going really far away from being an attorney. I just like to point this out. This has always bothered me since the vanilla playthrough I did for the first time off stream. I'm like, why? I'm like, wait a minute. Phoenix Wright, ace detective, attorney, defendant, prosecutor. Like, is there going to be a job he doesn't have by the end of the trilogy? Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember a suspicious handprint somewhere. Well, she's gone. Let's go to police department, and then we're gonna go to the guard station, which will let us go to the evidence room. And now we should be able to investigate all the handprints and see what happens. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. Oh, did they... Wait. I guess we'll see what they replace it with. I was just remembering there were a couple of mini games in this where you had to blow into the DS microphone. I'm guessing we just hold a button now. It's not quite the same. Investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. Finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will leave behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. So I'll choose the thumb. Alright, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With enter, see? Ah, looks like that did the trick. Aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. What is E on the controller? Wait, I don't know what... This input didn't exist before, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna press a random button and see what happens. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake, see? There is no E on the controller. I mean, I can hit it on the keyboard, but it's kind of weird. Wow, that looks like fun. I get some getting used to, though. It's fine. Won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess I better give it a try. Oh, now it says why. Look at us go, chat. Yes. Chat, there'll just be a little bit of excess this time. What do you think? Hold on, the screen's... Oh, hold on. Hold it. Right, chat? Hold it. You thought you're safe under the bar there? I don't think so. Let's waste all the powder. The nice sea of white, chat. Yeah, that looks pretty good, chat. Okay, what happens when we blow with this much on it? Look at this. Well, hold on. We can make it a little better. Yeah, we do a little better here. Yeah, there we go, chat. Nice, and... Ah, you did it! You found one! Just for fun. Just 404 fun. Watch out, the killer's behind you and know she can hear us. She's too busy being accused of murder. Something like that. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. Just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Let's do a nice little circle here. How much more complete does this need to be? Okay. I'm pretty sure that would have been good enough, to be honest with you, but that's fine. Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Yeah, just a little bit at the top, yeah. Let's match it up right away. So, we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I mean, I'm just gonna say it's Gumshoe. I mean, I could go and compare it, but it's Gumshoe's locker. I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I'd make a pretty good guess. But he handprinted the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we likely find on this evidence locker? Comparing, chat. Comparison complete. Match found! Uh-huh. So, these fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly. There was one other handprint in the room. Let's check it out. Slide. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right. There was a handprint here. Okay. Want to try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Check for prints. So for people that haven't played the game before, chat, whose fingerprint do you think we're gonna find here? So think about all the people that potentially could have been in this building. Specifically also in just this room. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? Area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in the area will have been wiped away too. Oh, Right. That means no prints. You say the probability of our hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, let's try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Like how there's like the dust button. Is it not gonna let me dust it? That makes me so sad. This is where... Okay. I want to check the cloth. Oh, unless... Oh, you know what it is? Never mind. I think I know what they want me to do. My bad. They want me to check, like, here for where the fingerprints should be. I'm aware I'm parameter. You don't need to give me that kind of advice. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. I almost thought it wanted me to do the cloth itself, which probably would have had something for us. More seriously, Gant. Okay, chat's thinking it's Gant. Okay. I see like maybe a tiny portion of it missing, but like seriously, like this is like way overkill. I don't think I need this much to match. There we go. It's like it was a bit faded towards the edges. So if we look at Gant, we can tell it's not Gant. If we go to Meekins, we can tell it's not Meekins. Now, if we look at Marshall chat, Marshall might be in trouble here. Match found. Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record. Found a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. The print has been wiped. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So, we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints. On a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued. Feel like we gotta be somewhat close. I think we got maybe probably one more set of trials and investigation. So we'll keep going for now. We got a lot of time, I think, before we want to call it. Let's save. Because you know how these trials go. They love going all the way to the final day. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered. She's making that face, but she's saying that statement. That's interesting. The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. Oh, different person speaking, my bad. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. Hmm? We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? She dots. Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. Bang, bang, chant. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. Sounds so on top of things. And she's very, something like that. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Bang, chat. Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Oh, Meekins, chat. Can we please take away his microphone? Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murder, sir. ... from Phoenix. ... from Edgeworth. ... from Judge. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. Never kill anyone again, sir. Gotta believe me, sir. Oh, man, his microphone, that is... Definitely do not like this character at all. Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. Person whose actions adults couldn't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Witness testimony, crime report, sir. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen. Rushed into the room. It's only doing what I was trained to do, sir. Suddenly attacked. Fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out, till another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir, he knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. Let's begin this cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Okay, so that's the game telling me a hint. I should probably press pretty much every statement, if not literally every statement. So we'll press the first statement and see what happens. Hold it! Mr. Meekins, You work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime. It meant many officers were given special tasks, not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I was sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I love the handprint just taunting us. It's like, hey, remember how you can fingerprint things? Well, guess what? Too bad you're not going to fingerprint it right now. Honestly, I doubt they were helping him when they slapped him. They just saw an opportunity to assault him. It's fair. I see. Sounds like a very, important job. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Okay, so let's press him on the suspicious man comment. Hold it! In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right around here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Is it gonna be all 7-1? Yes, sir. It's 489, or excuse me, it's 4989596. That's my number, sir. Ooh, the one that appears twice. I see. Huh. The number 4989596. Shut is being used twice. Dun dun dun. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. The second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security camera. It added to ID card report. IDs of all who entered the evidence room on 221. Alright, let's ask him when he was attacked. Hold it. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. What an understatement, Phoenix. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. Octopus? Oof. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. He fought for his life, then he did it. Let's press. Hold it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but really into kung fu films, sir. Ugh. The man laid his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. Made sure to close my eyes like a man. Oh boy. I, see. He must have been desperate. Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of blood, and then... The next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. You had it coming, Meekins. I think I'm with the detective on this one. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Fine, we'll press on the last thing. Hold it. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. Me right in the head, too. Woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. Oh, I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. It's okay, Judge. You didn't have to correct yourself. I came around, though. Made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. Turned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, don't rest easy now. Bang.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor.
Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The
chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection, chat.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
The greatest video of all time, says Empire Meter. Maybe.
I love that the person is this, like, like, just take a step back from, like, the nonsense we're listening to. So, in this universe, every single character here, the judge, the prosecutor, the attorney, potentially the jury listening in, doesn't find it weird that the murder suspect was given direct evidence from the police, from the detective, the head of the agencies, instead of it going through the normal process. Like, just give the murder suspect all the evidence. That's how you solve cases, right, chat? Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Bang.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
Oh, jeez.
Video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
Not weird at all, you're right, chat. There you go. I love the slow-mo walk of the detective. It's one of the key rules of courtroom shenanigans. I mean, procedure, pretty much. It just straight up looks like the Meekins got murdered. I'm not gonna lie. Phoenix ... Edward ... He's jealous of the Blue Badger. Meekins ...
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Security video. Video from the security camera placed in the evidence room.
Yes, well, anyway.
Wow, he anywayed him, chat.
This tape seems to prove the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
Witness testimony, mystery man.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. Locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. Then that would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. Events may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. Everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
Okay, before we go into making chat guess what we have to do, I want to make sure we looked at all the evidence we just acquired. To give chat a fair chance. So we looked at everything here so far. Okay, we got the blood on that. Take a look at the ID cards. 450, 514 is the updated evidence there. We can check the fingerprinting set, which I don't think we ever investigated before. But apparently it's got nothing to talk about. It's just too good, chat. We have no comment. Screwdriver, which we should probably look at before the end of the case. The tag says AI-16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said. It makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? Lost item report. Oh, I did not mean to object there. I meant to present. My bad. Well, I'm gonna get points off. Ignore. Mispress. I wanted to zoom in on this. So we see the start of an ID number here. We got the date 2/21, name Bruce Goodman. Didn't describe what item was lost though. Let's take a look at the blood pools for chat's reference. And then I think we looked at the glove already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we looked at the tag, but I'll just do it again briefly to remind the chat. Yeah, we went through that before. Okay. I'm gonna watch the video one more time. Oh, okay. Now I understand. I think I saw all I needed to see to make a comment. Did chat observe the oddity about the video just then? So my bad for hitting the present option there. This question, the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. When you opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint, the locker you opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Hold it! However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. It was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security video? Well, indeed there was, chat. Did you notice the problem? So also, I kind of vaguely recall the first time I did this, I immediately tried presenting the videotape, but I didn't press the statement, so I got a penalty the first time I played. So in a way, I'm emulating that same issue. I have to get them to add more detail for some reason to present the videotape. But indeed, chat, there was a problem with the video. Did you spot what the issue was? There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Objection.
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
You would want me to point it out.
Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You could do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you could fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer? What a great question, Phoenix.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us.
So, chat,
where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not have been Goodman?
Uh-oh, chat. The light was on. It was already open.
Take that! The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops.
Oh, did I not highlight the light properly? Oh, my bad. My bad. I think I might have missed it. Like, that's definitely what it is. 1 second, we'll just go through. Yeah, go through again. Or maybe it's just mad I stopped it like a fraction of a second too early. Hold on, let's see how picky it was. So I'm gonna make sure it's on the light this time. The finger is pointing directly at the light. Let's present that.
The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Okay, I think my hand was like slightly lower than the light. So I'll call that a my bad. That's not the game's fault.
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understood it, the locker apparatus works like this.
When you grab the handle, sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. You must look at the blue badger, chat. Witness it. Here, notice that light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah!
Why do you make a chicken sound?
Bang, bang, bang. Order, order, what is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Objection. The The locker's locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have been broken. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. Sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. Poor judge. Yeah, I was gonna say, we were hearing the music over and over. It was a nice moonwalk. Good point, Inframeter, as well. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cause for this. I'm gonna fast forward slightly. G-chat, I wonder what could have jammed the door. Present the glove. Take that. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. You will watch it again, chat. You will like this video. More badger, more, something like that. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. Objection. We can't be sure. That it was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? More badger for chat. Look at it go. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Please fire this man. Thou must witness the badger, thou must love the badger, exactly. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, this might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Bang. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the door? I mean, I'm pretty sure we just present the glove, because it's rubber. Take that! I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. Well, we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Exclamation mark. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Bang, bang, bang. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Objection. Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me, sir? Not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? No, it's just a bad character, Phoenix. He'll go away at some point. It'll be fine. Bang. Very well. Begin your testimony. Mystery Man number 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Enter the evidence room. One must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Even I could have opened the locker. That's right, I'm the murderer. That would be funny. I never actually completed the Phoenix Wright trilogy, but it'd be really funny if the trilogy ended with him actually committing the murder. Like, for real. It's like, yes. And now I got found not guilty, and I'm off the hook. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt. This is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. But that is the idea for Gaiden courting Graves, oh no. Or Gaiden. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there. Most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. Here we go, chat. Well, if we gotta pin Jake Marshall, as per the statement at the beginning of the whole thing, there's only one statement we could really present evidence to. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Oops. He had a lost item report, chat. Objection. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. Hey, Kirk. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. Underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. Kirk saying, oh, right, this case. We're making progress. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Bang. Order, order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. Doesn't even require much thought. Well, that's good, because our character's bad at thinking. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Bang, bang, bang. Order, order, order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murderer in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around, Edgeworth says while pointing his finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, well. Seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at on 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Really? You're gonna call her trustworthy? Okay, unless they mean her snitching on herself, and that's fine. Observe the moment that the defendant used the murder weapon. Ugh! I hope they're not referring to the other lady, because that was ridiculous. Yeah, I was like, I hope they're referring to the actual defendant, not like not the other Miss Angel Skye or whatever her name was. I knew that testimony is way too shabby. It's all a trap from the beginning. Bang. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Chat, it's never wait and see what happens. It has never been wait and see what happens. It will never be wait and see what happens. We gotta object. Objection! Oh, yeah, now he cares about the scope of the case? Yeah, you missed it earlier, Kirk. We were taking on the role of a detective for some reason. We still have, like, the fingerprinting stuff from earlier. Like the luminol spray and literally the fingerprinting set. The scope is getting out of control in this case. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Well, I guess Kirk is getting to see the video since he missed it earlier. Witness the Blue Badger. I see. Kirk loves the, police mascot. The Blue Badger. Definitely not nightmare fuel. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. You respect our Lord and Savior, the Blue Badger? Oh no.
Kirk is now learning he stumbled into the disturbing truth of the police department cult. And now the chat's cult, apparently. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police station to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The eyes of a ranger are upon you, something like that. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Bang. Very well, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Wait, we still have to pick it? Gee, chat, which character is most likely from Texas? It could be anybody, chat. Anybody could be potentially a Texas character. Definitely not the security guard that also happened to be at a desk that had the word Texas on it. You're right, it's Bruce Goodman, Kirk. It's Emma, it's Meekins. Oh, chat, you saw through it. You're too good. You're too good, chat. You know, at this rate, you're gonna have Gumshoe out of a job, chat. You're too powerful. The Blue Badger? That's a good one. Take that! Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. For some reason. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need more than 20 minutes to prepare. Bang. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. I like to think when they say this, they just start cheering and then they like start like playing like, I don't know, like kickball or something randomly. They just go out in the middle of the courtyard, chat. Just immediately start acting like full children. February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. Lana ... She's not a fan of the kickball, apparently. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Yeah, that's pretty Phoenix. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Lana ... Oof. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Uh-oh, maybe he did bring the Blue Badger just for chat. Lana ... Emma ... Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. And he looks sad as he disappears. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. Top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, hey! Hey, hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so, have you brought what I asked? Oh, oh ho ho ho, oh ho ho, oh ho 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 ho. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective.
Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Did I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? Uh-oh. I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky. Files for Joe Dark killings solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Let's immediately look at the stack of evidence. Let's check it out. Incident. SL9, page 1 of 4. Perpetrator, Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence death. Victims. Edward Jones, Jason Knight. Rachel Moss. Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Uh-oh. Familiar last name there, Chan. Trial data. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses, Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Ooh. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators, Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Really basic name followed by a real edgy name, pretty much. Phoenix ... Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark, no. No, Lana. It's over with. No! Emma, wait. She ran away. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Wow, we got bailed on by Gumshoe. Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Well, we already went through it. To be continued. Well, we're gonna keep going for now. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Bang. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. The one still actively drinking in court, which would probably also get him arrested. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? Never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Also, he has a knife in court. I think he would also get arrested for that. Maybe it's best we just get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime in plain English. Oh, plain old English, excuse me. Witness testimony, day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. But that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by the 2 security systems anyway. I remember right. I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man. If you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Well, that's easy enough to contradict. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. Yeah, I would like to declare witness as the weapon in the stand. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, see, he could threaten the judge. He should not be allowed to have sharp objects near the judge. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprints-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. I mean, I think they can also be upset at you for wearing a hat indoors while talking to the judge. It's not technically a law, but it's generally against decorum. Okay, oh, excuse me. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Well, we have a piece of evidence, so we're just gonna go forward for now. Janet's probably figured out that, given we took a handprint of him earlier, that the contradiction saying he wasn't there at the time is immediately contradicted by the fact that we have a handprint of his there. That's why it's not even worth going through the evidence. I mean, it's right there. It's even red, just to make sure you don't miss it. So we're just gonna show him the bloody handprint. Objection! Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. As he drinks more in front of the judge. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Objection! Only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Bang. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away, however. Luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room, the head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well. They being your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. New witness testimony. Blood-stained fingerprints. What excuse will he come with next? Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. Is it though? One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
That seemed valid to you? Jeez, chat. This, I wonder how many people he just immediately agrees with the prosecution on and have been found guilty and their lives are ruined because of this judge.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Bloodstained fingerprints.
Well, chat, we're immediately gonna press him on the it's only natural because we need to potentially open up a statement to present evidence. Because that's the big thing with Phoenix Wright. Even if you think you have the evidence, sometimes you have to press so you get a more specific statement. So I think that's happening here. So I'm gonna tell him to hold it.
That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month. Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happened to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said.
So now we know the locker is his, which might change something later down the line.
That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. I see.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's okay, Kirk. They're just trying to audition for the Suikoden protagonist.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Marshall's fingerprints updated in the court record. Okay. So that's probably important we got this updated. See, another thing that was a big issue was whether or not the murderer was wearing gloves. We already talked about this. The person who died, quote unquote, in the evidence room was not potentially the murderer. And or this still opens up a whole bunch of contradictions based off of what we saw in the rest of the video. So they'll probably have us talk about this more. Let's press.
Hold it. How do you know that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's pretty much like, yeah, this is kind of opening up to how do you know what the murderer was wearing? We'll see what his excuse is.
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
Okay.
There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. That would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood, in the desert, just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
Well, I think we know where this is going, chat. Oh no, I guess we're gonna have to look at the video and prove it with him. So thanks for telling us what we needed to hear, Marshall. Bang.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video.
Press. Hold it. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. Objection! That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. Camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Someone was familiar with the camera's position. They could leave without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. So for people that saw the video end to end before, there's one thing we can present to them, and it's something that's been bothering probably a few people since this started. So the fact that he outed that locker as his own is going to end up being his own undoing. Show evidence. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright. Or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. So we're gonna fast forward slightly. You will witness the video, chat. So chat. For people that were here earlier, remember, we saw something sticking out of that locker. Let's see what happens if we fast forward. The cloth is indeed missing from the locker. Oops, it's here now. Present. Take that. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Big mistake. Yeah, I was gonna say that's 8 words or less too. Very well. You could clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. You will witness the badger. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Bang. Order, order. It would seem that only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. You got the wrong man. Phoenix ... So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it inside. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. But it's locked by fingerprints. Yeah, see, Kirk's like, oh. Kirk's got a rage on him. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Well, I guess we just present the locker itself. Only the assigned detective's fingerprints can unlock it. Take that! Oh, fingerprint sensor. Uh-oh, Chad, he's looking nervous now. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. Yeah, he's gonna say some people might not know about the locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Oh, the counter rebuttal.
Okay, prove it, no problem. Ooh, look at him go. I only got one word for you, partner. No! At least he got shot there. Bang, bang, bang. Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself. I don't know what he was chewing on. I'm assuming it was jerky or something, but I didn't get a good look at it. He's kind of got it in his hand there. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Look at him go, chat. Look at him shake it. Violent vibrations. Olay, please. Olay? Why did he say Olay? Wait, what? That's not a what? Sure, Judge. Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know why he said that. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then was there a witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Bang, chat. Well then, let's hear it. Gee, chat. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He could be anybody. He could be anybody here. Take that. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There. But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. Objection, chat. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekin has witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Objection! I point out, though, Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. Also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. Not the weeps. So indeed, he talked about the knife being pulled out on him. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. The man had his ID card. Why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Edgeworth! Exclamation marks us. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? ... chat. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break it, Detective. Unless you have a hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Hold him in contempt then, right, chat? Contempt of court. Let's go. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait, he brought that up twice. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. Are you being serious, Phoenix? He's so dumb sometimes, chat. I'm sure chat has noticed a very glaring issue with the video. So we're gonna go back and rewind it.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Not really. I mean, I thought it was kind of obvious, but I guess we'll show to the court this video like the 8th time until they get it. Seems you're the only one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Present evidence? Phoenix Y. Edgeworth ... It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I mean, we're definitely bad at our job. Witness the badger? Something like that. We gasp. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no places to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened? In the first place. What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all of our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Bang. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. It's like the 5th time, Judge. After committing the crime, witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open the locker. So I'm gonna fast forward slightly because it takes a while. G-chat. Just want you to look at him real good, chat. I'm sure you'll notice the contradiction by itself in a moment. Oops. Look at that, chat. He spilled his fruit juice. Take that! For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman, entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. I know. He's just so sloppy with the fruit punch and or ketchup. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked. And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession, chat. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. No one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Well, chat, I don't think we got a clear line that we can object to, so I think we have to press until we get more information. So keep in mind, chat, we saw something very important in one of the new pieces of evidence, but we need him to open up about it so that we can present on that evidence. Remember, that is the mistake when you play this game. If you try to just slam the evidence in, the game will frown at you. Even if you have the right piece of evidence, it'll get very mad at you. So we're going to try to get a new statement by pressing and seeing if we could get something related to a particular incident, perhaps. Hold it! When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I want to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? What do you mean, what? Oh my gosh. Phoenix didn't put... Oh my gosh, Sean, I keep forgetting how dumb Phoenix is. He didn't piece it together yet. That day was my last chance. That's why I... Sold detective's ID and dressed like him. Let's press. Hold it! We need him to directly make a statement, though. So even though we talked about it, it didn't open up a new statement, so we have to keep pressing. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Hold it! You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. Only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. Didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Yeah, not in a good way though, Judge. Mistaking a detective for an intruder, demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. Oof. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me. Ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry it had to turn out that way. Me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. Yeah, nothing like literally flaunting the knife used in the incident. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
Judge, you're not going to take away the evidence that he's actively using? What? I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. Hold it. So, you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. All had gone according to plan. No footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on the day of the crime, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Hold it. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? Or excuse me, why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Uh-oh, chat. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Uh-oh. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. There we go, Chad. Wow, we finally got the statement I was looking for. I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Well, chat, we know why. You might recall, when we went through the list, a certain marshal was on the victim list. Oops. Time to present. Objection! Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relationship to you? He was my brother. I like they also have the hats. The hats run in the family, chat. That's how you can identify a marshal. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated,
The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Bang. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Chat saying he'll do anything until I get an answer I'm satisfied with, including crime. Yeah, at least more than one person has said this, and all but one person has been immediately convicted on the same case of committing a crime. Seems to be a trend in this courtroom. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could have been reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance. Gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department at the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Objection! But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me, this boy's got the drawl on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. Incontestable? Edgeworth, were you in the previous day's trial? Like, hello? What do you mean? Like, every single part of her testimony was wrong. Why is it even being accepted as real? Like, that's actually outrageous. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Are we just gonna shout the word objection? You mean the lady? Yeah, they're saying the incontestable person. Yes, aka the lady who lied about literally everything. Exactly, Dango. Edgeworth, please retire. Oof. I rest my case. Bang. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. What do you mean it's reached its conclusion? What? No, it didn't. Okay, whatever. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. He's supposed to be the king of prosecutors, right? The other prosecutors are just that bad. You have to think, some people rank lower than him. That's embarrassing. But I didn't realize I would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for a verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Hold it. Oh. Not who I thought said hold it. Why is she interrupting for us? Why are we so bad that literally unpaid interns essentially are showing up at our office and doing our job for us? It's actually ridiculous. Don't forget about paying, you're right. Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right? Oh, what do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Wow, how kind of him, I guess.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all? Oof.
Please don't be mad. Just a high school student.
I'm just an attorney. I don't know, Phoenix. Are you really an attorney, though? Why'd you bring it up if you had nothing? Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Wright, Trish's blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright. You're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
It's down to you, the player, chat. He has the badge, it's true. Me? Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use.
Plenty of reasonable doubt. It's true. It's good to doubt the sanity of everybody here.
But still, you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark. Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
Here we go, chat. Time to object.
Objection! This handprint left at this crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
So did chat piece it out? Clearly there's no problem ever. That's also true. So did chat piece together why this has a big issue? Why is that handprint a contradiction?
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Ooh, chat's gotta think about it, chat. These floor plans are actually a clock. I'm gonna show the beginning of the video to remind chat, maybe inspire chat that something is wrong with the video, potentially revealing the true contradiction. We'll check out the video once. Did chat see the issue? I want to say it's simple, but I can't say since I already know. It is very straightforward. One would say it's been staring at your face this entire time. Bang. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Defense is always trying to buy time. So chat, didn't you find it odd that at the locker with the handprint, if we take a look at the floor print again, where is it? Do we have the floor plans? Look at where the locker is, the one on the right. Remember in the video chat, there's something that chat has been remarking about this entire time, and it is the answer to what is wrong with this picture. It's the Blue Badger panel, chat. Take that! What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. Yes, he's indeed drinking alcohol while in the sand. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Ugh! That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. There you go, chat. The Blue Badger taunting you every video is actually the final proof for this particular confession, I think. Maybe there's one more. We'll see. Whoa! Bang, bang, bang. So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought in the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Judge, have you seen the witnesses you've allowed into the courtroom? Like, literally even for this case? May sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. Had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Objection. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Objection. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on this locker. Objection. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Bang. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to the Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, I know, we had an objection off almost. Another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. I think chat knows what's coming. Oh, Oh, did it not autoplay? I didn't see it pop up. We did get one pieced. Did the bot fall asleep or something? I definitely hit the command. I'm disappointed in you, bot. You had one job. But indeed, you've been one pieced. Oh well, I tried. I know, I think the bot fell asleep or something. Chat can test sound effects to see if it's there. It might have died. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Well, clearly it's the parking stub. No.
Yay!
Oh, the samba worked. That's interesting.
This is the Reaper's power.
It is indeed the Reaper's power. Oh, Ziggledy just ignores the One Piece command, apparently. The bot likes you, apparently. Well, chat, we have that mystery time at 77777. Time to present our evidence. Take that! If the crime took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have had to have entered it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Was it actually Mike Meekin that killed him? Yeah, indeed. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the Luminol test the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Blue Donna, Miles Edgeworth. Yeah, exactly, chat. Let's look at the charts again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, oh, maybe the stream deck died or something. I'll have to fix it later. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Bang. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 7777777. 7. He said it 8 times, I just realized. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What? Explain yourself, son. ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Uh-oh. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. Objection! But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? I have to go swimming to find this user? That's true. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how prosecutor office operates. Objection, chat. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall.
I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Objection. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 77s. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Dun dun dun. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we felt powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Dun dun dun. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. You were in that trial 2 years ago. Did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in the crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. Ooh, there you go, chat. Did chat see that one coming? We did what we had to. Hello, Project Omega. Saying hello, but also possibly waving your hand for saying you saw it coming. In order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. Dramatic flashes of white, chat. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, order, order! Order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Dun dun dun, as chat says. To be continued. Listen to that beautifully sound crushed audience sound.